Anyway, part 2 of February 19th. So yeah, there is a laundromat here that's open. I saw another one. There's nobody in there. I think it's just like there's a coin machine and that's it. So yeah, I got my sheets I'm going to clean as well and do that. I want to say I pretty much decided to leave here already. I mean, I look forward to maybe staying long enough to go see what the other badminton club is like. But yeah, I think when you see that many homeless and drug addicts, and they're right beside the Salvation Army, but they're still kind of intense in a park, and there's the Tim Horton there where I have irritable bowel syndrome, but I still didn't go in the bathroom because the guy's there, and I know what it feels like. He's struggling. I said, "Oh, are you going to be much longer?" Or and he said, "Yeah." He just said he's trying to poop. So I went to the one that said women and handicap, except you can't lock the door to be by yourself in there. And there's 3 stalls. But, any woman can come in. There's not a lot in the Tim Horton at the time, but still I'm thinking, I could get in trouble here. I could have a hard time passing my next criminal record check because I need to poop. And it's not like the Canadian Mental Health Association across the street is putting a porta potty there with their budget or something like that, right? Outside there, they're not, it's not about people, right? It's about money laundering. Everything that gets big is eventually just mostly, even though it might have started with good intentions. That includes, Jane Goodall Foundations or David Suzuki. They can't even own their names anymore, these people. They're still alive. It's like Sylvester Stallone. I can't even own the Rise of Rocky ever again. I wouldn't be able to afford it or whatever it is. So, that's how ridiculous you are in your magical paradigms, which are often blended with your supernatural paradigms. All disconnections from reality prevents you from looking at yourselves in the mirror as a failed species, and at least slowing down the Anthropocene to minimize, struggles to your kids and grandkids' generations. No, you won't do that. So I pretty much decided to leave here. So I go to the bathroom really quick, the women's bathroom, but then I go wash my hand and I tell the guy that's still in the stall, poor guy, homeless or a drug addict or mentally ill or a variety. Could also be a public servant, because to me it's all the same. You put them at the same table, they're all saying the same kind of nonsense. And so I say, hey, I'm just here to wash my hands, and then I wash my pee bucket, which is smaller. I like this V8 thing I got from the food bank. It's much smaller and easier to carry and clean when I go dump it in the urinals. Yeah, I'm going to continue to do this in the cold because, I don't want to be a money laundering failed primate. I was born to be human. But, there's been too many red flags. I mean, there's so many, there's the word BC here. There's so many places for people to go spend money, let's say in restaurants, or the price of fuel is less here, but still the service you get, from the people, it's dehumanizing. And all people want to talk about is how expensive things are, which is again proof that if that's their main conversation, whether they're the ones who can afford it and still say it, or it's the ones that are struggling, it's the wrong conversation, because in the Anthropocene, everything should go up in price if you care about your kids and grandkids. And the logic behind this is simple, yet I don't hear, sociologists being interviewed on the news to say, yes, so we have to all accept this because we have failed for so long as a species. I don't hear Jane Goodall or anthropologists saying this. And if we care about our kids, it's very important that we stop complaining about the price of fuel and instead minimize our use of fuel, for example. Not go for joyrides or just smoke whatever with the door open with the truck as it's running, which is still so apparent as a failed species to be observed, right? So who are the scientists that study us objectively and say, oh my God, this is not 1 in a million. This is a common phenomenon in these primates. They are cluelessly disconnected from reality. And this could be a person that has no supposed diagnosis of mental illness that's doing this. And all their family would say, that's the most grounded person I know. You silly Homo communion.